Now, what started as refugees looking for a way out of South Africa has descended into chaos. Refugees at the Central Methodist Church in Cape Town are now divided into factions, with either side accusing the other of taking control. Our reporter Aisha Ismail joins me now from Green Market Square, this in Cape Town. Good afternoon to you, Aisha. I mean, has there been any resolution whatsoever, especially between the two factions of the refugees at the Green Market Square?
No resolution at the moment. The South African police, they are outside the Central Methodist Church trying to keep peace between the two factions. The one faction is outside and they're saying that they have their belongings inside the church. They want to go inside to go and get their bags. They're saying that they want the police to escort them into the church so that they can choose and open their bags to make sure that all their belongings are still inside and that things that are not supposed to be in their bags because they're claiming that they're afraid that things will be planted inside their bags. Of course, the police are saying that they are there just to play a mediation role. This is the public order police. They're saying that they're finding it very difficult to try and mediate between the two factions. And as you said earlier, the one group accusing the other group of sowing division. They're also accusing the one group accusing the other group of making money out of the plight of the refugees. But we've moved away from the Central Methodist Church because our next guest is Chris Nissen from the South African Human Rights Commission, and he has to go back there to go and mediate between the two groups and did not want to be seen to be taking sides. So I'm just going to move over so that we can talk to Chris Nissen about the way forward. It's been almost 3 months since the refugees have moved into the Central Methodist Church. The situation is now becoming dire. We've seen an outbreak of chickenpox. The hundreds of people inside the church is causing, there's a health risk as well as a safety risk. And we're going to be speaking to Chris Nissen about what is going to happen beyond today and what is the way forward.
Thank you, Aisha. As you know, there's a court case. The city brought an application in terms of the bylaws to remove people from outside. Of course, the judge has said the return date is on the 22nd of January. In the meantime, that the different stakeholders must get together and try and find a solution. Part of the solution, of course, is a kind of alternative accommodation. We've met on the 23rd with Home Affairs, the Mayor of Cape Town, the South African Police Services and the United Nations High Commission on Refugees and civil society to look at what it is what can do prior to the return date of court date of the 22nd, 23rd. And so we've been looking at 1A. It's very clear there can be no resettlement at all because that's a different case and everybody knows that. Secondly, the safer reintegration into society, and that's what we're looking at as well. And thirdly, for those who are really destitute, because some of the people lost their jobs, left their homes, left the place where they rented, and say, because with the expectation that they were now going to Canada or wherever, third country, that's not going to happen. It's unrealistic. Therefore, we said, let's look at it, and each party has got to go back. And I must say, a great appreciation for the mayor who said, despite being chased away and despite being rejected, he said he's now coming, he will assist in whatever way he can. And therefore reintegration, and we're also asking for those who are really desperate, that lost everything, to do an assessment of them and then probably look at where we can look for alternative accommodation.
But having said that, since the court appearance about 2 weeks ago, there's been an outbreak of chickenpox. There's also a risk of a fire breaking out in the church. What is being done in the meantime? Have the health authorities been there?
Well, we have asked the health department on Sunday when we heard about it. And they went there and they were refused entry into the church. They also then helped the people outside. They only found one person with chickenpox, an adult. And they also said to me that the District 6 hospital has been open and has been receiving from the refugees coming for all sorts of ailments and so on. It's a pity that they were refused, that they've been rejected. But also the church was a place of sanctuary. It has now become a place of violence. And I think it's irresponsible of any leader to allow things like that to happen. It's a pity since Sunday our part of the plan was to then, once we have this plan, to get the leadership together and tell them these are the way forward. This is the road ahead for you. Yesterday we met with the different stakeholders again, and again it was emphasized that there must be a roadmap, and we're busy working on that roadmap, which will present it on Monday coming, where all role players will be there to ensure that we need to now take action in terms of making sure that the verification of documentation, Home Affairs is coming to the party, and I've been given the assurance by Home Affairs at a very high level that they will do whatever they can to assist whenever they can, but they need a place as well where they can do the verification. And the Green Market Square is not the place to do the verification. And then the reintegration into safer society. We've spoken to the United Nations High Commission on Refugees, and they are also coming to the party with that regard. With regard to alternative accommodation, that's a debate that we're having with the city.
Thank you so much for your time. So that was Chris Nissen from the South African Human Rights Commission talking about possible solutions for the refugees and asylum seekers that have been housed in the Central Methodist Church on Green Market Square for almost 3 months.
All right.